So, my name is Ricardo Triana, welcome. Io parlo un po' di italiano e capisco, ma non parlo molto. Ho studiato italiano fa molto tempo. So the presentation was actually in Italian, so this is going to be the English version, okay? Benvenuti. I am representing PMI. I was the director of PMI in 2010 to 2015. I was the chairman of the board in 2014. And now they asked me to represent and tell you a little bit about PMI. So I'm going to be really fast with the slides to just show you what's going on right now with PMI and what are the plans, okay? This is me, and I'm good looking, okay? And let me just change this. We believe that organizations, public or private, they do projects because they need to transform the business. But the basis of that is because you are going to receive some benefits. And the thing is, we have done a lot of research and we have worked a lot to just ensure that those benefits are going to be there for the businesses. And based on that, we do a research that it's called Pulse of the Profession. And those are some statistics about the strategy, the ones that decide what the benefits are going to be, and the projects. And if you look at these numbers in particular, you will see that only 3 of 5 organizations that have participated in this research, they think that they understand the value of project management. And the other number that it's really interesting in there is that only 61% of the projects that are strategic are achieving their goals. And that's something that it's complicated. When you think about it, the fact that the strategy is not happening is just a waste of money. And that's actually the point that we were trying to validate in the research. So PMI doesn't do only certifications or standards. As any organization, we also need to do research to understand what's going on, what are the things that the companies, that the organizations are doing. And I'm going to be just telling you 4 things that were found in the latest Pulse of the Profession report that the companies that are successful on implementing a strategy are doing. And I think that's actually something that we're going to be discussing today and you have seen during the day. The 4 things, and I'm going to skip this slide. The 4 things is companies that are successful, they focus on skills, they focus on benefits, they focus also on ensuring that they have a sponsorship and agility. So when I say these 4 things are really important because we found that when we say skills, it goes beyond the technical part. It's not about following a standard. It's not about knowing about risk or cost or scope. It's ensuring that you are a complete project manager. And we had worked a lot during the last years in ensuring that whatever we do with project managers, with the individuals, the knowledge, the capabilities, the skills, the techniques, and etc. are aligned with what we call the talent triangle, which is similar to the eye of competencies of IPMA. Because what we say is you need to have something that is strategic, something that is technical, and something that is interpersonal. You need to work on the 3 things. You cannot be only a technical project manager because otherwise you are going to be losing the value in the company. You also need to know about the strategy, about the business. Depending on the industry that you are working, you need to understand better. You also need to know how to deal with people. You need to work with people every day, so how to deal with people, conflict management, change management. And by the combination of those 3 things, we believe that you are going to be successful. And actually, companies that are working really hard on this, they are successful. They have a higher probability of success. That's one. The other thing that companies are paying a lot of attention is something that we call benefits. But if you look at the graphic, I know it's complex, but just imagine that this is the beginning of the project where you decide if you're going to do a project, and then you execute the project, and then you finalize the project, and then you deliver the product to the client. The project doesn't start only when you start the project. The project started with the idea way before. In that moment, the organization had a lot of benefits that they were looking in the project. And after the project ends, you need to realize those benefits to just ensure that they were produced and they were aligned to the strategy. That's what we call benefits realization. It's how to ensure that you understand the benefits of the projects, you execute the project, you measure the project, but you also measure the benefits, and after the project, you just confirm what happened with those benefits to give some feedback to the strategy, modify the strategy, do new projects, change the strategy, and that is something that organizations that are really successful do related to benefits. So let's recap. Skills, benefits. The third thing is sponsorship. But when we say sponsorship, it's not about just having a nice guy that is a sponsor. It's training the sponsors. They don't know how to be sponsors. They never had a sponsorship management classes. So how to ensure that they understand that what the sponsor should do, how to participate, how to make decisions, what's the information that they require to make a decision. When you focus also on that part of a sponsorship, they understand the strategy and they are the change or the link between the strategy and the project. And the fourth thing is agility. But we are not talking about agility like doing a Scrum or Kanban or anything of this. It's agility organizationally. Because all the organization, the entire organization has to be agile. Sorry, I'm Latin, I have to do these jokes, okay? When you try to do agility in projects and the organization is not agile, the problem that you have is that you have an elephant with tennis. It's nice, but it's not gonna run, okay? So that's a problem because when we say agility we need to ensure that the entire organization is agile, that the organization is also prepared to change the strategy, to change the budget. Do not wait a year to do another project. Something needs to happen here in the strategy and also here in the projects. And because of that, the four things that we were discussing, that were skills, that was the agility, that was the sponsorship, the benefits. What we had done is update a lot of the standards and certifications to ensure that those things are reflected. So we have, of course, 4 standards, one for project management, program management, portfolio management, organizational project management, but we also have some guides that are for how to ensure that you practice that in particular, earn value, risk management, and we also have some practice guides that are more understanding how to take something to the organization. There is a guide for agility, there is a guide for change management, for organizational change management, and we have the certification. So all these set of certifications, standards, etc., are now updated or in process of being updated to reflect those things. The talent triangle, the benefits realization, the fact that we need to just do agility organizationally. And you will find that, for example, in the last version of the PMBOK, we have now a guide to implement the PMBOK in an agile manner and how that's gonna work, because we recognize that that's something that is required. And finally, when we say about the strategy, the fact that the companies don't understand how to implement the strategy in the projects is a problem. So we created an organization called Brightline Brightline is another organization, is not PMI, it's a non-commercial organization, it's not a consulting company. It was created with these three guys, PMI, Boston Consulting Group, and the Agile Alliance. And the objective of the Brightline initiative is to work with companies to ensure that they understand that the strategy needs to be connected to the results and the projects. So there is a lot of work going on, working with companies, working with different organizations, participating in TED, just ensuring that the companies understand the link between strategy and results through projects. And that's it. Thank you.